We're at the Donner Reed Museum in Grantsville, Utah. There's a lot of historic plaques, monuments, items all around out here. They're closed, but we'll check out what's out here on the outdoor portion. It's across the street from the old First Ward Chapel, which was built in 1866 and which is on the site of the original fort, which was built in 1853. They've got a bunch of these lintel stones they've saved. It's pretty cool. From the old high school and other buildings. This plaque says that the property was within the walls of the Willow Creek Fort, Grantsville Fort, which was built shortly after the first white settlers arrived. The main building was erected in 1852. J. Reuben Clark II purchased the property in later years and restored the building. The site was eventually donated to Grantsville City to use as a museum. The log cabin and blacksmith shop were placed here in later years. This museum is named for the Donner Reed Party. In 1846, they stopped at nearby 20 wells to let their animals rest and gain strength before continuing to their ill-fated trip. While crossing the salt desert, they lost many wagons and other belongings on the mud flats east of Pilot Mountain. The hardships suffered in Utah delayed their journey. Winter overtook them in the Sierra Nevada mountains, resulting in their well-known catastrophe. Some of the articles left by the Donner Reed Party are displayed in the museum along with other pioneer and Indian relics. They have some carriages and mining equipment used by early Grantsville pioneers back here. The second word stone here. An old cabin, an old blacksmith shop. Not sure if this was a jail or what. There's a bell up there. We have this monument about the Cherokee Trail, how it's the longest branch of the California National Historic Trail. It originates in Arkansas and Oklahoma, crossing Kansas and Wyoming, Colorado. And in 1849, the Evans-Cherokee wagon train came through this area on their way to California, merging with the California Trail in Wyoming. In Utah, they traveled around the south end of the Great Salt Lake, taking the Hastings Cutoff, one of the few to take this route since the Donner Party in 1846. Empty wells. Immigrants bound for California in 1846 rested in this vicinity because of the cold, pure spring water welling up from the holes in the ground. These holes were 6 inches to 9 feet in diameter, more than 70 feet deep. When water was dipped out, it was replaced immediately from an underground source, but did not overflow the hard sides. Because of this phenomenon, the springs were called wells. 20 of these wells were scattered over the area of present-day Grantsville. Some of the first immigrants called the area Hastings Wells, named for Lansford Hastings, who pioneered a wagon route to the Humboldt River near Elko, Nevada. This alternate route to the California Trail through Tooele Valley was used by immigrants and gold seekers from 1846 through 1850. The plentiful grass and water in the valley made it a major campsite and resting place for wagon trains and pack parties taking the Hastings Cutoff. Utah's first immigrant graves in August of 1846, the first immigrants to take the Hastings Cutoff to California arrived in the Tooele Valley. They left 2 of their number behind. John Hargrave, traveling with the Harlan Young Party, died of pneumonia on August 11th and was buried the next day. The Donner Reed Party reached the valley 2 weeks later, on August 26th, member of their company, Luke Halloran, died of consumption and was buried at the site of an immigrant who had died in the Advance Company. Historians have suggested present-day Grantsville or Lake Point as the site of these graves, though the exact location may never be known. This panel commemorates John Hargrave and Luke Halloran, the first immigrants buried in Utah soil.
Poor boy in the country, and he helps me find my way. And poor boy's life is easy, 'cause he goes from day to day. And if I stop and think a lot, I think of everything I've got around this town. An old man sitting next to me with new shoes on his feet. He says that when he's all alone, he talks himself to sleep. And then he stops, and then he stares at all the people passing there without a word. Do we still belong around here, where the days roll on like a carousel? Quiet fields of green and blue, but there's nothing there like her love shining through. Oh, oh, hide, hide, light. We roll in from tourists, and now we're half a world away. Everything that I can think, too soon, too late to say. The next thing it occurs to me, she can sleep so quietly when we're alone. So good night, all you poor boys, try to make your way back home. These songs are for singing when you're traveling alone. Now and then I wait around so I can hear the lonely sound of outbound trains. Do we still